What's up, everybody? I made it back, all in one piece. I've been out, but I'm here. Anyway, welcome to episode 75 of Coffee with Den. We're going to have at least, I think, Gravity Crab will pop in. Once he makes it to his shop, he's going to settle in and join us. Feel free to scoot over to the Coffee with Den lair on Den.social. There's a link in there where you can join the call. You don't have to show your face or anything, but if you want to pop in and have a cup of joe and wake up with us, talk about all the things and stuff, let me know what I missed while I've been out for the past week. Otherwise, throw something in the reply section of that post. Again, it's in the Coffee with Den lair on Den.social, or you can just say, hey, what's up on YouTube chat, and I'll see it. And if you do any of those things, I'm going to mint some ownership NFTs and give them to you. That'll let you own part of the lair. So if we ever do anything cool, make a bunch of money, you get a cut. How cool is that? So, hey, I'm in a pretty good mood this morning. I hope you are too. I want to start off by just going through and seeing what's on Den, what's been posted. I know right off the bat, there was a question from Jacob Wayne about analog versus digital stuff. I know he's been getting into some retro gaming, and he's got some CRT TVs, at least 3 of them, I think he says now, where he's and a VHS collection and an SNES collection, I think, is what he's got rolling right now. And he had some questions about what's he got, what's he working with, where's the what's the difference between, like, which of my things here are analog and which of them are digital, because the older you get into hardware, sometimes maybe the line is kind of fuzzy. So we'll talk about that. Also, there was something else. What was it? I'll probably think of it after I have the rest of this cup of coffee. Anyway, join us if you want. Otherwise, let's check out Den and see what folks have been posting. I saw some things this morning that I thought were pretty cool, especially this one right here. So from Denizen, let's see. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. There's Juan Esperanza. So Juan Esperanza has had a hand in building the Hedgehog app, which I think sounds pretty cool. I'll just read what they've written here. And I will check it out in the App Store and go look at the description of it. So Juan says, Den was a huge introduction into the crypto world for me. I started writing blogs for Den, running a node with Dragon Chain, and even did the Academy stuff. Me too. Yeah, that's kind of was my crash course into Dragon Chain, and a little bit of education into what the wider possibilities were. Got to be honest, before Dragon Chain, I had a different idea about what could be done with Bitcoin. And so, yeah, we share some appreciation there. So cool. Gratitude to everyone on here that helped so much. All that led to my first crypto job at hedgehog.app. I'm happy to say that for over a year, the premier application is, after over a year, it launched on mobile, and the browser is coming soon. There's a video I'm going to attach that explains what it does in more detail, but the short version is that it offers an easy way to invest into a diversified crypto portfolio that balances itself either manually or automatically. That's cool. So there's an easy button if you don't want to think about it. That's becoming really important. People don't want to think. So if you can have I don't want to think buttons on things, I got to say that's probably going to be successful. What else? All right. So the company is registered with the SEC. Ooh, that's scary to me. But good on you for trying. I'm surprised, actually, to be honest with you. I'm surprised that the SEC has any path for registration for a company like that. But that's cool. Maybe they've updated something. Because typically there's the talking point of come in and register, but then when you do, if there's a lot of companies who don't have a path to registration. So I'm glad that you're able to do that. It's good on y'all. Using Gemini custody. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. A lot of time and expense was used to make sure this is a safe and robust app. Currently, there are crypto deposits available with a fiat on-ramp coming in weeks. That's a pretty short timeline. That's exciting, man. So it's already got crypto deposits so that you're basically, it sounds like this is interfacing with Gemini on the back end, and they're doing custody. That's smart. You're as a way to build it. I think that's smart. Cool. So we have a soft launch for friends, had a soft launch for friends and family, and now the crypto communities we are in. Officially launching next week. I hope you'll check it out and let me know what you think. So when was this posted? This was posted 17 hours ago. And it says the official launch is coming next week, and they're launching now for the crypto communities we are in. So this sounds like denizens have early access just for being on the platform and being able to see this message. So that's dope. Thanks, dude. I dumped a bunch of energy on this. I recently acquired a bunch because I'm buying a camera from Jacob Wayne, and I hope it's okay that I say this. I'm going to pay him in Matter for it. We have a little Matter economy starting. So I put like 35. What did I put? 35,000. No, wait. What did I put? I put 28,000 energy on it because I think that's fantastic. And thank you for coming around to talk to Den about what you're doing. Let's check it out real quick. It's in the App Store and the Play Store. Right now, it's just for U.S. investors, but adding more soon. That's also very interesting to me because at a time where almost everyone else is abandoning the U.S., unless something dramatically has changed in the last week when I've been gone, you are launching for U.S. only, and then going out there. So that's interesting. That's probably a competitive advantage too. So let's check it out. Let's open this up. Shout out to I Am for I Am. Good morning to you too. School, blah, blah, blah. Good morning. School event won't be able to stop by and say hello in person. That's all right. Thanks for chiming in. And before we go check out this thing over in the Play Store, let me bring up Mr. Gravity Crab. Hey, welcome. You exist. Howdy. I was just going over a post on Den where a denizen helped make an app, and they have launched the app, and it is currently on the App Store and the Play Store, but they're not really launching until next week. But because they initially started with friends and family, they're now, like for beta testing, they're now going into the crypto communities that they're a part of, which includes Den for this person. So we get a week heads up before launch. So they got Hedgehog Crypto. Here it is in the App Store. It's on the Apple App Store too, Google Play, Apple App Store, whatever you want to call them. And as he said, deposits for crypto are already working. Uses Gemini for custody, and fiat on and off ramp coming next week. I wonder what bank they're using, because banks are abandoning the space too. That'll be interesting. So the official blurb says Hedgehog is a crypto investment platform that makes it easy to maintain a balanced, diversified portfolio. We make it easy to create a diversified portfolio of top cryptocurrencies and keep that portfolio balanced according to criteria that you care about, like market cap or number of active users of a protocol. We got 5 stacks, which are baskets of related cryptocurrencies, allowing you to divest in different sectors of the ...
We got 5 stacks.
Stacks on stacks. Stacks on stacks. We got... What is that? What am I thinking of? There's a throwback there somewhere. Stacks on stack.
Racks on racks?
No, I don't know. Ding dong. So that's cool. I'm gonna check it out. I don't know anything about it, but I'm gonna check it out. And I'll be honest, I've been thinking about throwing into some diversified portfolio stuff. Anyway, this could be really good timing for me because I've got a lot of stuff coming up. And something that I can say, hey, just give me stuff related to this, this, and this, so that in case something crazy happens, I'm in there. That sounds like a perfect plan. And I'm going to be honest, I like doing things manually because I'm really particular about like how things work and where my stuff's located. But knowing what I know, that's like the rest of this year for me, and the amount of time that I'm not going to have on stuff, I'm probably going to try out that easy button where it can just auto-magically diversify for me. And then that's just something else I can say, yeah, something else is taking care of it. I hope it works. It's like it's no it's no more risk than manually doing it in a lot of situations, as we've seen in the past, right? So cool. And I don't think that Gemini is going to rug you or steal your funds, but I don't know for sure. You never know. I happen to be one of those people who like the what are their name? The Winklevoss twins. I like those guys. I don't know them personally, but compared to the majority of the other personalities in the space, yeah. I mean, if I had to pick a team, they'd be on it. Among the available people that are public, I would probably hang out with them and quest with them or something. I don't know where I'm going with that. I was kind of just hoping that David would come back for a second so I could tell him something else. But he'll be back. He is, so if you don't know Gravity Crab, he is in a store that fixes computers. And so when you hear the ding dong, that is, first of all, really, really loud for anybody listening on headphones, probably. Sorry about that. But that's him getting a customer and he has to go leave because he is a business person. So cool. Go check it out. Go check out the Hedgehog. This is, I guess, brought to you by the Hedgehog crypto app. Not really. I'm not being paid. I'm actually paying them. That's how it works on Den. So cool. Gave him a bunch of energy, bunch of love. Let's see what else is here. I've got some tabs pulled up. NVIDIA. If you've been following the AI saga, I'll call it. If you've been following the AI saga, and if you are somebody who likes to dive in and see how that works, you may have noticed that NVIDIA GPUs, the graphics processors, the things people use for video games typically and stuff like that, their RTX cards are the dominant hardware used in that. They have something called tensor cores that were developed specifically for machine learning. When ray tracing in video games first came out,
I heard about NVIDIA hitting $1 trillion company.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All about RTX. That GTX to RTX was a good move for them, I guess, because that's really? That's why the AI stuff is all running on NVIDIA cards, primarily.
Thanks, NVIDIA. Thanks for building the dystopia.
So
we knew they'd do something weird.
Yeah. That was the whole point. That was well, most of the point. They saw machine learning as a market sector that they wanted to have a big part in, and they made a move, and it worked out for them because I don't think.
Well, I mean,
so.
Next to the concept of quantum computing and stuff like that, that kind of stuff is machine learning is the next step of computing. I mean,
it is
to build itself essentially.
It is. So to me, there's this thing called LLMs. That's the most important part of that. Large language models. And what that is basically is ChatGPT. Stuff like that, where you have this ginormous training set where you can say, hey, computer, know all of this, right? You give it a bunch of stuff and you say, this is your reality. This is your training model. Here's all the documentation. Maybe it's every scientific research paper ever published that's peer reviewed, right? For example. So you feed the computer, kind of like the Willy Wonka machine. Do you remember the Willy Wonka AI machine?
Where, with the AI machine?
Yeah, they had a paper tape AI machine thing.
Wait, hold on. I think I'm drawing a blank on some Willy Wonka shit that I should probably remember.
Okay, well, it's not like that at all, but it's similar to the concept of...
Do you remember this thing that never existed?
No. So if you watch, not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but the OG Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
We need to roll back here because the OG technically is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and they changed it for the movie.
Okay, the movie, the film, Yeah, that's fine. So the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory film, there is in the beginning, early on, they're getting the golden tickets. right? They're like, how do we get the golden tickets? Everybody wants a golden ticket. So there's this dude at some place where they have a computer. And I guess back then computers were new, right? So it's like, ooh, they can do all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, basically, they are demonstrating that we're going to use our computer to predict the location of the last remaining or the next or a golden ticket.
It was a play on the ENIAC, which predicted the election between Eisenhower and oh god, who was he up against? I don't remember. Obviously, it didn't matter that much.
So you know what I'm talking about. So that scene,
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, in that scene, the dude asks the computer, like where's the thing? We get a lifetime supply of chocolate. But then the computer's talking back. Candy. Yeah, and the computer's like, why would I do that? What's in it for me? And he's like, I'll share the lifetime supply of chocolate with you. And he's like, well, what's a computer going to do with a lifetime supply of chocolate? And then he gets pissed off and he goes, oh, now I'm going to tell it exactly what it can do with a lifetime supply of chocolate. What it can do with that chocolate. Yeah, shove it up your ass. So yeah, so that's an early like sentient computer, joke kind of thing. Okay. Sinfully cerebral. Good morning.
I don't know if I want to hit a point in our lives where I walk into my house and I say like, hey, turn on the lights. And it goes, I don't know if I'm feeling that right now. Like, I don't give a shit if you're feeling that or not. You are a lamp.
Yeah.
You produce light. That's what you do.
Yeah. Tell me you love me first. Okay, I love lamp. Please turn on the light.
Please
turn on the light.
Like, do you really love me? It's like, you piece of shit. I'll just turn you on myself.
So large language models are basically the training models where if you think about your idea of reality, it's based on your memory, like your memory of your life. So you can just swap out the AI's memory and say, here's your concept of what is real. Here's your training model. And so
that you run into.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not really a problem. Actually, it could be considered a fail-safe if you really want to think about it like this. I've talked about on here a couple of there's the internal model of reality thing where people like, immediately.
You hear me fine and I hear you fine, right?
Yeah, I am going to say you're garbage audio.
Am I garbage? You hear me?
No, I was pointing at this. I was pointing at
okay.
Being a dick. Yeah, no, I hear you fine.
Yeah, and I hear you fine. I don't know, man. It might be sinfully your problem. I don't know, man.
Sinfully your problem? Wow.
Well, sinfully cerebral. Sinfully.
Yeah, I see what you did there, but I like that it sounds like it's a sinful problem.
Let's get a second opinion. I am for I am. You're listening in. How do we sound? Let us know.
And if it's me, I'm not surprised. Seeing as my setup is literally thrown together through.
Oh, it's not it's okay. We have some clarification coming in. It is low.
Oh, I'm super low. That makes totally sense.
Okay. That makes way more sense because I got a volume knob.
Yeah, I can probably fix that.
That's why it sounds fine for me. All right, mystery solved. Still not as much technical difficulty as when I think it was the most recent episode with T Swift or Die. Had a bunch of technical difficulties. Gravity is great according to I am for I am. So you're just low. Yeah, you're not. Okay. When you tell somebody your audio is garbage, it makes us think that there's like problems with it. But being low is just too low. But thank you for letting us know. While you fiddle with that, I was just saying that I've been doing. No, this is not.
Higher.
Yeah, that's definitely higher. Yeah,
I could see him a little bit higher. Okay, cool.
Okay, I've been playing a little bit with the AI art. AIs, and I will need some more. I will definitely need some more hardware before I'm able to run the LLMs that are coming out. So the same company that open sourced Stable Diffusion for artwork is open sourcing a Chat GPT like LLM. I'm gonna mute you. Mute yourself. That's good. Jacob Wayne, good morning to you too. And so basically, whenever I was making those, I realized, these training models, you can just swap in and out different training models, and it creates different things based on what the AI knows as what its reality is. And so the same thing is with these large language models, like these chat bots, like ChatGPT and Google's Bard, for example, that's out now, and some others as well. I don't know what IBM's really doing with Watson and stuff like that, but it's a different type of. I don't know what they're doing. Point is, there's an insane amount of emphasis on these LLMs, and I do think that's where everything is going, because it's kind of like having an intern that you can talk to and say, all right, I need this. No, not that. Change this and make it that way. No, not like that, like this. And I saw a prior Pentagon official, an admiral. I think he's retired, but he works with emerging technologies for the military now. And basically, he put out, this is just on LinkedIn, he put out literally all of, I think it was either the Army or the Air Force's doctrines and papers and stuff that dictate like how they operate. And invited everyone. Basically, he says, hey, may the best model win. Here's all the data. Start training your LLMs on this data. And so this is the next arms race. Not only is it really interesting for just regular companies, a competitive advantage and the pace of producing new things, but militaries are using it now. And I know for a fact, even when I was in, some of the stuff that, not that I was working with, but adjacent to what I was working with, my other buddies basically that worked on different weapon systems, there was an early version of AI that was already implemented in, what year was this? It was at least by 2008. No. Yeah, at least by 2008. So, yeah, it's definitely something they've been toying with already, and this is just going to accelerate it. Speaking of accelerating things, let's accelerate the number of people that's on this call and bring up Dr. Dingleheimer. What's up, John?
Hey.
Another person has changed their name recently. How are you?
Fucking crushing it, dude.
Good.
Crushing it. Crushing life. Crushing cans.
Yeah? You were up late last night. How was that?
You were up late. How was that? I think it would have been at midnight. It wasn't that late.
Yeah. I got a message from you at like midnight 30. Like, hey, are we doing a show in the morning?
It was like 11. It was like 11.
Okay.
Don't make a big deal out of a thing. Like,
oh well.
It was like 11:15, something like that. I had some people over, and we made like fancy cocktails for everybody. It was pretty cool.
Fantastic.
And then I went to Atlantic City this weekend. The weekend that just passed, right? So that was a lot of fun. We went to like a music festival, and yeah, it was pretty neat.
I can hear you all right. I think Cerebral, I think you might have some. Yeah, you should restart. I don't know what's going on there.
I love. Maybe your computer just doesn't like me.
It could be.
I get it. I piss off a lot of moms and computers.
Yeah. Well, this is the Technical Difficulties morning show. So.
Oh, really?
Maybe that'll be the new name. So, you're gonna have to start sharing some of your tips and tricks on making drinks in maybe the like Creature Comforts layer or something, because I made a deal with my wife yesterday.
Uh-oh.
2 days ago.
Already off to a bad start.
That we'll just start drinking at home more to save money, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so crazy expensive, man.
Yeah,
Especially in New York. Like, oh, man.
I just don't know how to make, I kind of sort of know how to make a Moscow Mule. I just pour the ingredients in there and I'm like, there you go. That's pretty easy, right?
It's 2 ounces of booze and then ginger beer.
Yeah, I throw some lime in there, but yeah.
And then a lime and a fuck ton of ice. Like,
yeah. Sometimes I'll put mint in it if I'm feeling fancy. That's pretty good as well.
That's a good start. We got a little like indoor garden thing that's got mint, basil, thyme, dill, Thai basil, probably some other shit. So it's like one of these little arrow garden kind of things.
Yeah.
And we just snag a couple off and then make the drink, and it's good.
Yeah. Well, I still have a yard, so we got a garden with some herbs in it.
Bro, we didn't do the show last week, right?
I know.
And-
Dude. I was sleeping in the woods and in the desert and on the mountains and in Vegas also and a lot of places. I was in a camper van on the road.
I was gonna say it was Fleet Week here.
Was it?
It was Fleet Week here.
How was that?
So we were gone. We were in Atlantic City over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
But on Wednesday, like they were here all week, obviously.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like outside, there was a fucking aircraft carrier that was docked next to the Intrepid.
Dope.
So it looked like the Intrepid, and then like the Intrepid's younger, more successful brother.
That's cool. I did that once when I was in the Navy. Yeah, and
Fleet Week.
No, Fleet Week. Well, I did 2 Fleet Weeks, one in New York, and so you saw the sailors everywhere in their whites and their uniforms.
Yeah, there were a bunch
of stuff like that.
Yeah, there were a bunch.
Son of a sailor man.
People asking for pictures and shit.
Actually, John is kind of low compared to Gravity Crab. So maybe
how's this shit sound?
That's what's up.
Sounds great.
Do I sound like I'm in a fucking cave right now and I'm about to blow out your
You sound great now.
You sound mildly ill.
All right, is that better?
Bro, don't. You just don't. You're joking.
I'm serious. I'm fucking with the gain on my.
Yeah, it was fine. It was good a minute ago.
And now it's boned.
Oh, a minute ago, like where it was originally.
Like when you turned it up, yeah.
Oh, to me it sounded awful. It sounded like when you have the gain too loud.
Yeah, well, maybe so. I don't know.
It was like if you had too much drive on a fucking guitar. Like it didn't sound great.
That's just special effects.
If this is better, I'll leave it here.
Yeah, that's supposed to sound like that.
So, I remember a friend of mine that I worked with met his wife on Fleet Week. We were walking down the sidewalk, and across the street there was a group of like 4 girls. There was like 3 of us and 4 of them. We're walking down. We had our uniforms on. They make you wear your uniform as part of the whole thing. Go out in your uniform, be a sailor. Fleet Week, that kind of thing in New York.
Did you even have to try with that uniform?
No,
just like automatic.
This is why he got married. So we're walking down the street, and there's these girls across the street, and they literally yell across the street, "Hey, sailors!" And we're like, "Oh, hey!"
Oh, hey!
So we go to the bar with them. We have a great time. He hits it off. I forget what her name is. It doesn't matter at this point. I haven't talked to any of them in years. I feel bad, though, because I attended the wedding, and I forget what her name is. Sorry, remind me. I don't know if you're listening. You're not. Anyway, so they hit it off, obviously, and they ended up getting married. It was awesome. And we had a good time. We went and ate a whole bunch of sushi at this fancy sushi restaurant, and some rando paid for the whole table of sailors' sushi. So I was like, oh, thanks, rich person, I guess, because that was expensive. Thanks. And this is the kind of thing that happens at Fleet Week. It's amazing. We did the same thing in Fort Lauderdale. Ended up singing karaoke with Dennis Rodman on stage at a bar where there was a band playing, and it was not karaoke night. He just decided he wanted to be in the band. So he started singing Roadhouse Blues, and I hopped up on stage with him, and I gave him a hug at the end.
You got to hang out with Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, he was a very tall person. So when you hug a really tall person, it's awkward. It was like I was at his belly.
On a scale of 1 to 20, how many beverages had you placed in your body at this point?
Enough to jump up on the stage.
Because I know you well enough to know that is not a typical Dave move.
And I also forgot the lyrics after the chorus, and I was drunk enough to think it was totally fine to just start over the chorus again in the middle of the song.
Oh, no.
And so that's why at the end I was like, sorry, I fucked up your song, dude. And he was like, oh, it's all right, man. And we hugged.
You hugged Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Why not?
Because he drunkenly fucked up the song makes it so much better.
Sorry, bro. God. It's okay, man. Hugged it out, That's what you do.
Dennis Rodman.
Would pay money to see that happen.
Dennis Rodman, that man's a genius, Who else can mend relations with fucking North Korea like Dennis Rodman?
He's either into tall people or he's afraid of tall people.
My wife's 4'9".
Yeah, no, she's not tall.
I'm not into tall people. Yeah.
When I first started dating Jackie, I introduced her to my friend Savannah, who is like 7'4". She's relatively tall. Played basketball. Had such a crush on her. But I introduced her to Savannah.
She's 7'4"?
She was like 7'4". Yeah, she was.
Is that real?
She's a tall person. Dude, she was a tall bitch. It's wild.
Holy shit.
She's still one of my good friends, actually. I should find a picture of her. But
yo, tell her to be shorter.
So the very first time, tell her to be shorter. The first time Jackie met her, she looked up at her and just kind of squeaked and walked away. And that's how I learned that Jackie's afraid of tall people.
That's funny. That's very tall, yeah.
Dave has like a tall fetish now.
Yeah, I like everybody, man. I got a fetish for most things. It's fine. So
we're
anyway,
gonna go ahead and take that out of context at some point.
There's Fleet Week for you, and then so you experienced others experiencing that. You experienced that as a New York person, seeing everybody descend on your city and dressed in white.
I mean, we left,
and then you left.
Then we left. Yeah, it wasn't crazy. It was kind of nice, honestly, that I left because like. I feel like I would have gotten really annoyed with it. Like we were walking down the street and somebody's like, "Hey, I got a picture of the like," and it was just like the boys in white walking by. It's like 6 of them. I'm like, "You what? You just want a picture of people in costumes? Like what? What are you trying to ask?"
A random
like, what do you do?
People.
And look at these people. They were on the streets of New York. It's like what? No.
Well, I mean,
you're never gonna look at this picture ever again. Oh.
I don't know. There was those people that used to take pictures of stuff like that, and they ended up with that really famous.
That one is fake. Picture. It's fake. It's not even.
No, it's not. It's actually sexual assault.
It's fake. Nobody believes you.
It's not fake.
But my point.
You didn't know that lady.
Well, my point is I don't get people that just like take pictures like that because they're like, oh, I need to have a picture of this. I'm like, you're never gonna look at this fucking picture again.
That's my entire philosophy with photos.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like take a picture. The thing you want to take a picture. If not, like be in the fucking moment and let it just go.
Like when it comes to taking pictures, I'll take a picture of like an object that's cool, but I mean I don't want to take a picture of like the concert thing. Like people that record 45 solid minutes of a concert onto their phone, and you're like, you're never gonna listen to this shitty audio from your phone speaker.
Yeah. And especially like you can go on YouTube and watch like most of these fucking concerts in full video in like 4K fucking shit for free.
Guy doing, then you get the one video that's the guy who uploaded his phone video, and it's like wobbly all above shit.
Yeah, I don't get people wanting to watch a live concert through a TV screen on your phone. To be honest with you,
I would do like an actual show.
Mm-hmm.
As in like if it's an actually really nicely recorded concert, like for instance, I love Taylor Swift, so her 1989 show has a really good recorded show. Like that I can watch, but I'd much rather see a show than
I didn't know you were a T Swift fan, buddy.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I was excited that your name was T Swift or Die.
It's Mr. Dingleheimer today.
I see that.
I will defend filming a show through your phone though. If you are like a small band that doesn't have any material out there, you got to get it from somewhere. So there's
buy $100 thrift store camera that is better than your phone.
No, not necessarily.
Well, actually, not nowadays. Actually,
yeah, these
phones are fucking crazy now.
Well, that's different though, dude. Like
I was like, just wanted to put a caveat in there.
Yeah, like that's fine. Like, I'll put it this way: if you're really gonna do something with this video, then like sure. But like the person in the crowd that's like 12 beers deep, that's like holding their phone up in like
their whole iPad,
and then they take a video of themselves and they take a video of the band, then take a video of themselves singing along with the band. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Like
they got like their whole iPad up, like recording a full fucking show. What the hell does Jackie have on here? What the shit? So here's my wife's iPad.
Okay.
I don't know why she's got scantily clad anime women on
it. A bunch of waifus.
But that's what's on the back of the iPad I've been using.
Yeah.
So that's
you like what you like, you know?
God, I hope customers haven't seen that.
So over in chat, I Am For I Am was asking if I drove through Flagstaff or the Grand Canyon and stuff, and that reminded me that Jacob Wayne had something over as a reply to the coffee episode. two things actually. One is he was, and we can talk about this in a minute. We was asking about the difference between analog and digital and where the line is and what stuff is and how it works. But also he had an idea for, I think it was funny. He called it an informal segment of the coffee show, which isn't that just the whole show?
It's the entire show.
Hold on, let me take off my shirt and my pants. Like,
Yeah, let's get
we
more
gotta
informal.
get more informal. We gotta get more relaxed.
I would have to be just stark naked to be more informal.
Who's got a joint? Let's pass it around.
Let's go.
Right. So his idea for a less formal segment, we'll do this segment shirtless, is show and tell. Because last time we did the sort of what the internet used to be like, Gravity Crab showed off of BBS. We talked about how like the old internet is still there. You just have to leave Google basically and go look for it. And so I could probably just show off where I went last week real quick because there's some pretty cool spots.
I
Yeah,
just was
get
reading
over
his.
yourself, dude. I've got so many
reading
videos
his-
from that concert I can share though, if you want to see them.
You got videos from holding up your phone at a concert and filming it?
Yeah, I'm joking. So one of the bands that played was Bleachers.
Yeah, Bleachers.
Which
Okay.
is pretty cool. They had a good show, but a buddy of mine loves Bleachers, and he's in the UK. So it was like 11 o'clock midnight. It was like 1 a.m. It was like 1 a.m. It was like midnight or 1 a.m. his time while they were playing here. And I sent him, no joke, like 10 or 12 or 15, something like that, videos of the concert. And then halfway through every video or at the end of every video, I would flip the screen so that it was my face going at the end of them. It was pretty great. I had a good time. And then like some of them I didn't do that, and some of them I did, and some of them that was the whole video. So I mixed it up.
So the whole slideshow of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next morning he's like, "Oh, they're great. They give the best concert ever." I'm like, "Yo, Al, you got to watch all the videos because I made them special for you."
Made
I
it special
them
for you.
Yeah.
Custom experience.
It's the most John thing I could think of. Speaking of random crap being sent to people, did you get all my stupid headshots that you asked for?
No, you sent me headshots
I sent you like 10 of them yesterday last week during the show, or the week before.
during the show. How'd you send
Yeah,
them?
I guarantee you now that through a text message. There's probably some random guy.
Some person that you have like the
just
wrong
10
number.
photos of. Oh my god!
No, I wouldn't.
Somebody has them.
During the show last week.
Yeah, well, the week before.
That's funny.
Let's slide over to Jacob Wayne's question real quick because he was asking about analog stuff and like digital.
Well, no,
Yeah.
He's about to answer his first question right now.
I didn't know we were still in the middle of a first question.
Yeah, show
We're
and
just
tell,
looking at
bro.
We're looking at the
Bro,
crypto
I don't
arena.
have shit from you.
I went from here. I started there. I went to Santa Monica Pier and stuff. Went to. Oh, what do you want to show? What do you got? What is
The
that?
last thing I sent you.
Oh yeah,
That's
proof.
No fucking pictures, dude.
Bullshit. I sent you all of these
Well, not to me.
to some John Branch. Did I send them to your dad?
Probably.
How do I?
That would be fucking hysterical.
What's the phone number?
That's probably not a good idea.
What's the last 4 digits of the phone number?
The last two were 73.
All right, that's me.
But
My dad, I'm 73. My dad's 71.
oh,
Besides
God,
that, the exact same phone number.
I couldn't even imagine if I'd sent those to your dad. He would have called me and asked me about it. And been like, why did you just send me 10 good-looking headshots?
I'm just filling out my path while you're talking about your phone call there.
I see you're on a journey here,
Yeah,
So here's where we drove. Yeah,
dude.
yeah, that's too far. Why'd you do that?
it was about 4.5 hours per day driving, and to be honest with you, it was a pleasure the whole time. We had a camper van that was made from a Dodge ProMaster. It was a Dodge ProMaster camper van thing,
That was a badass camper van, by the way. That red one.
and yeah, it was good. High Road Base Camp, and then we ended up dropping it back off. So we picked it up in Vegas and we dropped it off at Salt Lake City. So that was our trip. This is where I was last week. So to answer I am's question, no, I did not go through Flagstaff. But
I like that you came real close to going through Flagstaff.
I went real close. We diverted right here. Yeah. We went up to Grand Canyon right there. So we
Did you feel like
almost.
any of these places on your trip, did they feel familiar by chance to something we hold dear to our heart?
100%. So
Okay.
over near where I have, so this is, they call it the Strat, which is the wrong name. It's actually the Lucky 38.
Yeah, it's the Lucky 38 Casino and Hotel.
Yeah. So I went there, and I also went to Good Springs, and went to the Pioneer Saloon. I had a beer at the Pioneer Saloon. And if you've ever played Fallout New Vegas for any period of time, you've probably, the very beginning, you're in Good
You've
Springs.
seen the Prospector.
Yeah. The Prospector Saloon is the Pioneer Saloon. They have a little shrine inside for Fallout, which is pretty cool. Everybody comes by and signs the guest book thing, and
that was the Sierra Madre. That somebody drew the "I left my heart" in the Sierra Madre. That feels
totally. And they even have like a little Xbox set up with the game running, so you can like walk around Good Springs and stuff. It was pretty cool. So definitely did that. Went by Gene and Prim. We stayed in the Strat in the Lucky 38. It's pretty, like, obviously there's a lot of not to scale artistic differences, like being in the video game versus real life. It's not Assassin's Creed where it's exactly right.
Wild.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I nerded out, went to some things just because.
Hey, I got a question.
All right.
If I'm gonna export a file from Audacity to Audition, should I do it as a WAV or an MP3?
WAV.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And that is a really good segue into the second question that Jacob Wayne had about digital versus analog, because there are some differences. Those are both digital file formats, but WAV is more.
WAV is industry standard.
It's a bigger file.
It doesn't have as much stuff. So MP3s use a process to remove bits of what are like inaudible bits of audio. But I mean, if you've ever listened to like a lossless format that's 75 megabytes for a single 2-minute piece of audio versus a 1 megabyte MP3, like you can definitely hear a difference. So MP3s just cut out a lot of background noise to save size. I don't know how to answer the digital to analog thing, because I found it.
I found a slide deck on the internet.
The difference? I know.
I mean, okay, well,
I know the easiest way to tell the difference between digital and analog.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
All right, let's hear
it. One's like it's got like uses electricity, and the other one.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, if it's analog, you better be able to.
Analog, you gotta think about analog. I guess the most simple way to think about analog is going to be tape. So where analog tape, basically you're just electrifying a piece of magnetic tape so that it holds a piece of data, just like how a record groove holds a piece of information when you run a needle through it.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. So
not even close.
No, you're sort of right though. If you look at, I brought up some stuff. No, it's not in there. So the record groove thing. When you're listening to a record on a piece of vinyl, the needle's actually following a groove that's carved as basically the vibrations of the waveform is translated into the vibrations directly, right? It's literally, if you record early on when they invented this, it was basically drawing the waveform as you spoke into a microphone, right?
Yeah.
And then
and they even had things at the time that were like large. So the first recorded records is like the Edison cylinder records. If you've ever seen one of those, they had a right head and a reed head, and the right head you would put on and you would speak into this big horn, and it would take the vibrations of your voice and carve it into the little wax cylinder, and then you would play it back the other way and it would come out the way it was supposed to. So yeah, we definitely did it early on that way. There's actually some pieces of pottery from like the Roman era and earlier that people were taking reeds and like doing like brush strokes across.
Yeah.
And you can see in them just ever so slight little vibrations of people speaking around them. And if you
neat.
you can almost pick up like discernible voice from it.
That's fantastic. That's really interesting. Yeah. I never heard of that before, but that makes sense. Yeah.
I think that's the earliest example I can think of that.
That makes sense because one of the things we used to have to defend against was like for security stuff was you could spy on somebody in a room across the street by shining a laser on the window and recording the reflection of the laser, and the window itself, when people are talking, the window ever so slightly will vibrate, which creates differences in a if you have a steady wavelength pointing at it, the reflection will vibrate along with people's speaking voices, and so you can actually take that and translate it back into an audio form, waveform, and hear what people are saying. So they put little window vibrators with that randomly induced vibrations on the window to mask all that out.
And analog is one of those things that's another good, just for Jacob Wayne there, analog is way more finicky, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, for instance, with digital, like a SNES ROM or whatever, you can buy a device that you plug your Super Nintendo cart in and click a button and it will pull that digital file there and it's perfect. Mm-hmm. Like, it's pretty much exactly identical to what it was before. With analog, if you were making copy after copy after copy after copy, eventually it starts to degrade just because of the type of material that it is. So that's one of the issues you come into with like collecting VHS tapes and collecting analog audio is you run into tape rot a lot. So when I do, like, because he was mentioning laser discs and stuff, my favorite format to collect right now is laser discs because I got stupid lucky. I'll show that in a minute. But laser discs are great because they're like analog audio, so you get the really nice high quality audio plus analog picture, but it's digitally compressed, so it's actually going to stay nice for a very long time. VHS tape, every time I buy some, I'll pull the sleeve off, and if you can see the reels, just look for little white splotches on it. If there's any little white splotches on it, just pitch them because the tapes are going to rot.
No, good tip. Good tape.
Same thing will happen with early CDs. If you look at like a really early CD and you see like a cloudiness to it, it's because the layers of the disc are starting to separate, and it's just disc rot essentially.
What kind of how does Dr. Evil listen to music?
I don't know. That sounds awesome, though.
On a laser
disc. On a laser disc.
The fact that does any side note real quick, slight segue. Does anybody else know what laser discs are?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. It's a freaking. All right, look. So, have you ever seen like a disc?
Shit, John.
It's like have you seen the movie Tron?
It's my favorite thing on the planet.
Yeah, it looks like a silver record, but it's not a silver record. It's a laser disc. There's a movie on there.
I love that shit. This is my copy of The Juror that I use to test laser disc players when they come in.
That's great.
So I got stupid lucky recently.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how long it's been since you've had a really good thrift store find. And I mean, like, the kind that makes you go, what the fuck? How did this even happen? Right?
Right. Okay.
So I went to, there's a store here in town called the Repurpose Project that I think most of us nerds in town are quite fond of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because they are legitimately a junk store. You just go in and you'd be like, oh, I want this random piece of wood. I'll give you $0.25 for it. And they're like, cool. So I got very lucky. Where is my share screen button? And I found my new Pride and Joy.
Was ist das?
This is a Pioneer Elite Laserdisc player. So this was like towards the end.
Wood grain on top. Matches the Atari.
It's towards the end of the Laserdisc format. And this was like one of their really high-end reference models. And it's, I looked it up and it's worth like $1,000 still, right? So it had a sticker on it for $20 and it said that the Laserdisc player didn't work, but the DVD did. And I'm like, but that's the same laser. So I took it home and I cleaned it with some alcohol and guess what worked? Perfect.
The Laserdisc player?
Damn right. Yeah. So
very nice.
Player. That's the best damn.
That's a really great. That's a really great find. Yeah, my best one ever was those two Ataris. Those two Ataris, man. Not Ataris.
Oh, the
The two
Commodores.
Commodores. The two Commodores.
These keyboards are fucked.
Yeah, they were on a stack because they look like fat keyboards if you don't know what they are. And so I found two of those. Yeah, looks like that. So I found two of those sitting on a stack of just regular ass keyboards, and you got to click images up there, and then it goes to the image. Yeah, and they were just all in the same pile. So I was like, they think these are keyboards. So
these are free.
Me having moral flexibility as I do, I took them both to the front and said, "Hey, these don't have prices on them. What do you want for these two old keyboards?" And they were like, "Oh, I don't know, $5." Sold.
I think I ended up with one of those.
Yeah, you did. So for $5, I think I sold one to you for 30.
You did.
So for $5, I got two Commodore 64s.
Which I don't think I ever paid you for.
It's honestly, I don't even care.
I have a habit of that.
You want to hear my best thrift store find?
Yeah, what do you got for us?
So I went to there's a thrift store in Gainesville that some people know about. It's called the Repurpose Project.
Yeah,
I went there and
I know that place.
Yeah, it's
cool.
And Dakota and I were looking for some new fixtures, for some new like little decorations for the house, and she really likes teacups, right? And I was looking around, and I found a teacup, but it was like kind of long, right? So I was like, "How much do you want for it?" And they're like $10. I was like, "Here you go." So I took it home, and then I was driving home, and I noticed that there was like a smudge on it of dirt. So I licked my finger like that, right? Like how you normally lick a finger, and then I rubbed it, and a fucking genie popped out, right?
Dope.
It's crazy.
It's an elongated covered teacup.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it like, to me it just looks like it's a tea. To me it just looks like a teacup, but it's like a lamp, you know, like the little
like a teapot.
Yeah,
I'm a little short and stout, like that thing.
It looked like a teapot, but like a long teapot, you know.
Did Barbara Eden come out?
So yeah,
I started singing. The blue genie popped out of it.
A blue genie popped out, sang a little ditty.
Sounded just like Robin Williams.
Yeah, it was talked super fast. And then it was like, "You want 3 wishes?" And I was like, "Nah, dude, I'm good."
Said no one ever.
Nah, dude, I'm good.
Then he's like,
"Dude, I'm good."
Then he's like,
"Life is good, bro."
He's like,
"Nah, I'm good."
And then he's like, "Yo, you set me free, dog." I was like, "Yeah, I did." And then shackles like fell off of his wrists, and he started spinning.
Yo, I'm free, dog.
And then he went to go out the window, but couldn't. Because he lost his genie power. Like he was trying to use the smoke to go through the window. It didn't work. So I had to roll down. I had to it was like a crank window. So I had to wait till we got to the stop light, and then I reached over and
just opened the door at that point.
I cranked down the window for him, and then he floated out of the car. Never did. I haven't.
He could still float. He couldn't smoke, but he could still float.
Yeah,
nice.
He
kept some of it.
Yeah, he was slowly losing.
He would have lost it all if he would given you the wishes. But since you said, "No, I'm good," he kept 3 wishes worth of power.
No,
and
it's
then
just like over time, dude. That's not how it is. Just like over time, he'll
okay.
lose.
I don't know genie lore, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit before we got to the red light. He explained some of it. So it was cool. We still have like a pen pal thing. We write to each other. If you
free a genie and all he does is hit you up as a pen pal, that guy's a dick. Because he's been in that lamp for a long time. So like he should be coming by with like some food.
Look, just because I did something nice doesn't mean that he has to reciprocate, you know? Like
that's like saying that, like, oh, I freed an entire nation. I did something nice. Like it's a little different.
No, it's fine, man. Like there's no ill will there, you know. We still write, we still text every once in a while. He reminded me of something. He lost his phone, so right now we're back to we're back to letters again.
God damn it! You just
I
invented a good character.
Stamps are fucking expensive. I don't know if y'all know about that.
People are made of stamps.
Yeah, we sent postcards from Zion with stamps. I know about stamps.
I
Did
tried put.
I get a postcard?
No, we sent them to our neighbor's child.
Wow.
Because her name is Zion, and she's like 2
That
or
makes totally
something.
sense. That
So
totally makes
yeah.
sense. John just reminded me of something. You saying, a genie shows up and says like, "Oh, I got 3 wishes for you," and you're just like, "Nah, dude, I'm good." Do you know who the Greek philosopher Diogenes is?
Oh yeah,
the guy that dead ass, like, he was a cynic and he was like, the father of cynicism. He basically used to live in a bucket in the market square. He had one bowl until he gave it away. And he basically would just whack off, in the market square and, not give a shit who saw and, would just make fun of people.
I've seen people like that.
I love those guys. So at one point he was approached by Alexander the Great, who said, "I really like your style, man. Is there anything I can do? Like, can I give you anything? I am Alexander the fucking Great. Can I give you anything?" And he said, "Yeah, could you scoot over a little bit? Because you're kind of in the sun. If you're where you're standing, if you move over a little bit, the shade will hit me a little better. So could you just block the sun for me for a second?" Alexander the Great.
Yeah. Anything you want.
That's John's
Same
freaking
thing.
like, "I don't need shit from you. Fuck you."
Same kind of thing. No, I'm good.
He genuinely had a bowl. Apparently, he reportedly had a bowl until he was in his 50s, and then some kid needed a bowl. So he was like, "What the fuck do I need this for? I got hands," and gave it to this kid.
Far out.
He also brought a chicken into Plato's, I can't remember if it was Plato. It was one of the philosophers. He brought a chicken into this room. Basically, the question was, what is the most simple definition of a human? And the guy came up with featherless biped. So Diogenes showed up in his classroom with a chicken that he'd plucked all the feathers out of and was like, "Look at this person," and then threw it and left.
So my question is, how does this guy know all these bigwigs? If this street guy was like, I know Plato.
Because he was a philosopher. He was like a well-known philosopher.
Oh, okay. So he just chose to hang out in the street. Some people just choose that, I guess. Okay. So John.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
I got a question for you.
I'd love to hear it.
I got a lot of stuff coming up. Really interesting.
John, your dad says hi.
Your dad's on the phone.
Perfect.
I love it. So I got a lot of stuff coming up and some really cool stuff. And one of the things is that I'm going to probably have to go to a pre-recorded format here. And I was thinking that if I did that, we could, for example, record in the evenings any day of the week, still play it on Wednesday. But that would allow us to do some post as well if we want to do any post editing, if we want to do anything more interesting with this show. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel about this as not a live format anymore? Because I'm thinking about going to pre-recording. I might have to go to a pre-recorded format.
Can we add CGI?
We can. That's the thing, is we can add stuff now. We can do effects. We can do bits. We can do late night jokes with the little thing that pops up in the corner. Stuff like that.
I want a CGI on my face so I look like an ant.
Why don't I just get a video of an ant and say, "Look, it's CGI. That's you. It looks just like you."
All right, fine. That's complicated. Yeah, that could be cool.
So you basically you as the tick, but as the ant.
I'm into it. So yeah, that's cool. So here's the thing that I would say. Think about the show and how much time you put into it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have time to put more? Do you have energy to put more time into it? Or are you really going to put more time into editing shit and post? I'll put it this way. I've had a podcast that I recorded that I've needed to edit for a week and I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Right? Mostly because we haven't done this show and I usually work while we're on the show. So yeah, are you going to actually have the time and energy to edit it and do all that kind of shit?
I think so, because with...
What's up, Hyro?
Hey, what's up, Hyro? Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about going to pre-record format with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be more time because you have to do, of course, you have to record and then you have to edit. And then if you're adding anything, that's like, it's all exponentially, everything you do is more at that point. I get that. The reason I think yes is the answer is because I've got like a massive life change on the horizon, which is super cool.
Is it
But
the job?
but shut up. But what?
Bro, why are you trying to keep me in the dark or everybody
But
else?
well, the cool thing is I actually it frees up a lot of stuff too. So I'll have more time. It'll just be at different times, if that makes sense, right? So I actually do have more time. It's just that I have to shift when that time is allocated. So yeah, totally.
So why don't we just?
So I could work on it. Basically, what I'm saying is I could work on it in like 3 different like evenings or over the weekend, or all that.
Why don't we just make it an evening show?
Could do that too.
What time in the evenings are you? Are you like working like 9 to 5? Are you busy 9 to 5?
Yeah. So basically evenings and weekends. Yeah, mostly evenings because I like my weekends. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do shit on weekends either.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got improv at 9 fucking o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. Like I'm not.
We could still do it. We could do coffee for Asia or something. You know what I mean? It's morning time over there.
Coffee for Asia. This is Coffee with Dan. We teach you how to make espresso martinis.
Oh, so segue real quick. Question. I didn't give out the awards before I left on my vacation, so I got to catch up on that. Sorry about that. Yeah, those still happen. I just didn't do it. Is the thing. So I got to go back and do it. So for this one and for that one.
Well, part of like the funness of the show, right, is like like the chat part.
Yeah.
So if it's pre-recorded, like it's gonna take a genie wish to have that work, dude.
Okay, because that's why I wanted to ask you. Is like, does it lose what it has? It would just have to be a whole different thing, I
don't know. I feel like no matter what, you're only gonna disappoint like 6 people.
That's fair.
So do what you want, dude. Yeah. Because that's the deal. Like, okay, I'll have my fucking Wednesday mornings free again. Like, that's cool. I enjoy the show because, like, I like talking to you and Gravity Crab and everybody else. Like it's really fun.
Yeah, that's kind of what this is. It's like catching up with friends, whether you know them in real life or on the internet, that kind of thing. Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice getting to like also like talk about other shit. Like we talk about stuff for tomorrow. We talk about like other like shows. We talk about D&D stuff, things like that. So like it's never just like us just sitting here, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could go.
All right.
I mean, like I feel like if the options are pre-taped or nothing, then you just gotta. Then that's honestly on you. It's like whether or not you want to let your baby die. Are you willing to kill your darlings for something else? Do you want to rebrand?
Well, I just don't know if it would be an opportunity to change things up and go pre-recorded if it would make it better. I don't know if that's something I should do because okay, here's a change in my schedule. Maybe I should use this as an opportunity because this is what I was thinking. What if we did something that literally made it better? Now you would obviously lose part of the real-time interaction with that, all of the real-time interaction with that, and you would have to go more to relying on people to leave something in the replies, right? Or to reference back to the previous week where people watched it and replied, and then here's some feedback kind of thing. It would be a different thing.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Yeah, like that's what basically if you watch PBS Spacetime, they do that. They do a video, and then the next video they at the end of it they say, now there was some feedback on last week's video, this and this. They said we were full of shit on this, and they asked this question, and it's like a whole separate segment. So we could do something like that. I guess my main thing is like, what's better, right? For us, for interesting, like, because to me, I think it's fun to do also. So, part of it is like, yeah, I want to keep like doing this because I like hanging out with you guys and I like talking to people in chat and getting feedback in the replies. And that's all fun. But also, would it just be better and more interesting if we did it pre-recorded to do some editing? I just don't know what that editing would even look like. That's why I was pitching it.
Yeah, I mean, there's cool stuff you can do, but then you're gonna change like the vibe of the show. So it's really gonna be a different show. You know what I mean? If you did like pre-recorded stuff, yeah, you can make it look more like late night talk show and stuff, and write jokes, and we can do all that kind of stuff, which I'm happy to do. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but like, that's a lot of work, dude. Is that something you really want to do when you're starting a new job?
That's fair. Yeah,
that's something you're gonna want to do, because like every time you have to work on that, that's time away from Tina. That's time away from your dog. Like that's time away from No Man's Sky. Like,
yeah. That's all stuff to think about for sure. What's up? Welcome back. So cool. Well, maybe an evening. Maybe just moving. What is that?
Got a nice puffy battery.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Maybe the easiest, best thing is just to do it in the evening, because that works just fine.
Yeah, if you do it in the evening, you can do that. And then I think like also that might be a way to it depends on what you want the show to be. Do you want this show to be just like a couple dudes catching up, talking internet?
Well, I want it to be an open forum for anybody who wants to talk about. It's basically like meeting up for coffee or tea. Like when if you meet up with friends once a week, what's going on in your life? What's interesting?
Now that's what normal people do.
That's what normal people do, and in my mind, anyway.
Yeah, us on the other hand,
But this is like a virtual version of that. It's a virtual version of meeting up and talking about what's current and what's been going on, because it's also good because like I don't have time to keep up with everything going on in the world, and I like when somebody chimes in. What do you think about this? What do you think about that?
It gives me
Yeah, it gives me a minute to be like, oh, what is that? Keep up with things.
Well,
so that's probably what I want to do, is keep it like that being the point of it.
You can still keep that aspect, and like if you think about it too, like it's not like people are banging on the walls to get on the show at the current time we have.
Mm-hmm.
So if your goal was to have more people on the show,
that's true.
Changing the time would make it more convenient for other people to pop on.
If I made it like sufficiently after work time for people.
Is this like a different show that we're starting up, or what?
So while you were out, we're talking about moving the time to the evening, or either doing it in the evening or doing it pre-recorded. Were the two kind of options.
I think we could do, for times like where you're going to be gone and we are going to be, just like sending you a text like, what are we doing in the morning? We do some pre-recorded stuff. I would be completely down with moving to an evening time, just because it would make my abilities on it a hell of a lot easier.
We would not hear the ding dongs anymore. That's an improvement.
I'm gonna have to wire up a ding dong in the house just to make sure that like I can hit it. Honestly, the day this story becomes mine, Dave, we're tearing that fucking thing out and adding something different. Okay,
just a strobe light that makes no noise.
Just a flashy thing.
Just a flashy strobe
I
thing.
have like a seizure condition.
Yeah, just don't do 3 hertz.
Before we get too far, I gotta ask, what did my dad want?
Would you like to guess?
He wanted to sell you some laser discs.
It was nothing computer related. Actually, yeah, he had some laser discs for me.
Yeah, he told me.
Far out.
He told me he got some laser discs. I'm like, go fucking give him to.
Yeah, he's got some laser discs for me. He's got a friend of his that I guess he's going to go see next week or later this week, and they've got some more laser discs and possibly a reel-to-reel player. So, yeah,
that's pretty.
I just got your dad out hunting. Also, Jacob Wayne, if you want to get into a really cool thing to collect, reel-to-reel players.
Guess what? Jacob Wayne has an eBay store.
I want to say really quick. I haven't had a chance to actually watch any of the stuff yet, but I saw that he has posted like a review of like a Trinitron and has been like talking about like vintage game stuff. And that is like, me and him need to become like.
So he's a legit videographer, and his videos on that are pro.
You
Like,
told me they were damn good. I just haven't had time. Actually,
you could tell like the edits that he makes and the effects that he uses are seamless. You can't even tell. It's fantastic. It's great. The cuts aren't jarring. Like, they're so good, dude.
That's awesome. I also just love that that's more people in the like vintagey cool tech community that are making like, here's why a Trinitron is badass, and like, you know, why you want one of these, and if you can find one that's like a Panasonic that's $20 somewhere and has that flat screen on it, you're probably in the money.
Have you so what is it that my dad wanted that wasn't computer related?
That was it. He just called to tell me he had some laser discs and to bullshit for a minute.
I just called
your dad
to say laser disc.
You. Your dad at this point is at a point where he's just kind of a store friend. So he just like comes by every now and then to bullshit with John for a little bit, or just sit there and just chat with me. It's great.
Does he bring y'all beer yet?
No, but I'm on board with that.
He used to. I'll let him know
if he wants to go. I should take him to the restaurant up front for like lunch one of these days.
He used to. Whenever he'd go pick up the car from the mechanic, he'd bring him a 6-pack.
See, that's just a good guy. Like, he knows what's up.
He'd always bring him. He'd bring him like Yingling, or every once in a while he'd bring him something. He'd be like, "I'm gonna bring him something good." He brought him like Shock Top.
Something good, yeah.
I was like,
get him some Shiner Bock.
I was like, these guys aren't fucking drinking Shock Top.
Like, they want you to give them an 18-pack of Busch Light.
You know what we used to do in Virginia when we had, well, I'll say my neighbor used to do this. They had emissions tests and stuff like that they had to go get certified every year, I guess. Put a new sticker on the car. Mm-hmm. He used to leave a 6-pack on the passenger seat and a $20 bill in the vent of the car, and then take it in for the inspection. And then he would get it back, and he would have a past inspection sticker, and the 6-pack and the 20 would be not there anymore. It was just an unspoken, like, hey, this is going to fail. Can you make it not?
This is going to fail. Can you maybe just take this and pass me?
I like how all you have to do, all it is a 6-pack and 20. It's not like just.
Well, think about it though. Like, imagine you're one of those people that you're doing the inspections, right?
Yeah.
Say 5 people do that. That's $100 extra and a shitload of beer.
Yeah, it's a racket until you get caught, and then you lose your license.
And all you have to show for it is a bunch of various beers.
It's like, is losing your license worth $20 in a 6-pack, even if it's 5 times?
You just got to know. You just got to read your customers. It's like, is this guy?
What if his car never failed? What if his car was actually always fine?
I like this. I like the concept of melatonin and Den.
Melatonin and Den.
That's when we hit 60 and we're all geriatric.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we could do it just call it like happy hour with Den.
I like that because if we're at home, it'll probably be beer time.
So yeah, in the evening, definitely. We could have drinks and unwind in the evening. We could even change the name, the URL. Den.social/L/coffee with Den will be the same. That won't change. Could probably change that too if I needed to. But the display name could change. Or we could leave it the same, and if anybody ever asked why it's called Coffee with Den, but we're drinking beer, we can just be like, oh, it's just how it used to be, and we never changed it.
I
can do whatever we want.
We should leave it be. And I mean, the amount of us, how often do you drink coffee in the evening? Because let's be real, I do.
I used to.
I like coffee.
I used to. I still do, but I used to.
But I used to too. Yeah.
I still remember yelling at me for making 1 cup of coffee out of a coffee pot.
I remember that. Yeah, that was I drank.
Make a full pot.
Yeah, so back when I had the computer shop, and David used to work for me, and we had a coffee pot for ourselves, for guests, customers, whatever. And
we had a bar.
And we had a bar, but it was a coffee bar, but it was a bar. And that was the standing rule. If you're gonna make coffee, make a full pot. Don't ever make less than a full pot. Because if you want some, I probably want some. And if I want some, they might want some. And I drink half a pot anyway, so just make the full pot.
Do you remember when we bought those Coca tea bags?
Yeah, I 100% do.
I was
That's
like
fucking
taking a
nuts,
cup
bro.
of coffee and taking like 2 of those and like steeping them in a cup of coffee.
You used to be able to buy them on Amazon.
That shit was wild. I mean, it's illegal
Yeah.
now. You can't buy them anymore.
It was
I guess
illegal
people were
then.
processing them into blow. People were processing it into blow.
Yeah, people. It was illegal then. You could still buy it though. It was coca tea on Amazon. There was a vendor that sold them. You used to like early days. That's the thing is like these huge monolithic companies all had early days, and for example, I've watched hardcore pornography on Netflix before.
Oh God, yeah.
And I was like, this is on Netflix, really? And
How
yeah,
is this
straight up.
here?
Yeah. So early days of all these big companies had Amazon. You could buy coca tea on Amazon. You could buy like it was interesting. I'll say
Shit
that.
would kick you in the face too. Like you
Yeah.
drink a teacup full of that, and the next thing you know, you're wired for sound.
Yeah, yeah. I used to drink that when I was in the Navy, which looking back is probably a bad idea because I could have failed a piss test, but I never did. But we used to have crazy hours, man. We would just do like we had sometimes if you were like short on people, we would have what was called port and starboard, where it was 12 on, 12 off, and you just take turns kind of thing. But even the off time, you had to go. This is 12 hours looking at a computer screen watching a radar, and then the other 12 hours you had to do your regular maintenance on your equipment and actually do a full day of work and then sleep. So there was some rough, long hours there, man.
Well,
But yeah, so to that question, Hyro, I don't know. We could change it if we want. That's probably a GI. That's probably a question that we can put up in a GI. Pick a time, right? Like if we're changing it up anyway, we might as well do what works for everybody. Especially if it means people aren't going to be going to work and can chime in and join the show if they want. Maybe that's the answer to make it better.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I like moving stuff to evenings. I love our morning coffee show and all, but I do also, work. I mean, I'm
right.
Taking a laptop apart as we speak. So.
Well, I think that's the answer. Let's do it in the evenings. What I'll do is I'll do a couple of GIs. One of them will just be 5 options for days of the week. Maybe 4 options. And because I'm going to be flying a lot too, starting on like doing Fridays. So yeah, Monday through Thursday. And then after we narrow down what day, be flying a lot. Yeah. And
flying to.
I'll talk about all that later.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. It's really cool stuff.
I love when Dave has secrets.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll let me do a lot more stuff as well. I'll be able to build some things that I've been wanting to build for a long time. Super cool.
In the process.
I say a lot, twice a month for
That's
a few
a lot.
months. Yeah. And then what else? And then we'll pick a time after that, right? So basically starting Eastern time through, maybe no later than 9.
I was going to say like 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Seems like a logical.
Yeah, we'll do it all Dow style, and we'll throw some options up, and I think we've narrowed it down enough now to where we can now just do the rest via GI. So y'all can I'll do it after I hand out lot for the last 2 shows so that we're updated on governance weight as well.
And Dave, since we are since we're actually going to be in an environment that's not like work-based or first thing in the morning, if we decide we want to review a strain of lovely plants, we can.
Get tanked with Den.
Get tanked with Den.
We'll just start hosting it in the craft beer layer.
That's kind of awesome.
We'll cross post it. Yeah, we'll cross post it to craft beer. That's easy enough.
Speaking of beer, how was everyone's Memorial Day? Anybody do anything on Memorial
Day? I slept.
Really?
A lot. Yeah. Yeah, because I've just been on the road for a week in a camper van.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was tired.
That was my day before. I had my Sunday where I didn't do really anything. I was busy on Saturday. Actually had Sunday off. Then Memorial Day, I went and grilled burgers.
I went to a music
festival. Felt like
festival.
real American.
I went to a music festival.
Yeah.
I hear. That's what I heard. I hear. Yeah, with the bleachers.
Bleachers were there. They had bleachers. Blink-182 was there. I saw that.
Oh, it's just bleachers. They don't have the on the front.
I don't fucking know, dude. I think it's.
I feel like I know this band.
Blink-182?
You know Bleachers.
Well, I know who Blink-182 is.
Yeah. They had that song on the radio. You know Bleachers.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty solid song.
Yeah. So solid rendition too.
Yeah.
Why did
Speaking
they-
of
look.
Memorial Day, how weird is it to hear people wish people a happy Memorial Day? I was hearing that. We went out for sushi for dinner on Memorial Day. And like we kept hearing one of the servers was like wishing happy Memorial Day to the guests.
Well, because
and
most people just think it's a holiday now.
We were like,
what it is.
That's kind of I don't know how I feel about that.
Day.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think it's super weird. It's super weird. Yeah,
I've also seen
Happy-
it.
That's like being like Happy Kennedy Assassination Day.
Yeah, exactly. I have worse than that. I used to work for a company that went around to basically every grocery store and fix their scales for them, and so I always got to see like the bakery displays, all the cakes and stuff, you know. And there was a certain grocery store chain that put out cakes, decorated cakes for 9/11, like celebratory cakes, and I was like, I don't know if that's okay. It was just like happy 9/11. Here's a celebratory 9/11 cake.
Happy we watched 2,000 people die on live TV.
Yeah,
and nothing.
And I was just like, what do people think? What do people think this is? You know, it's like, what's there to celebrate? Yeah,
they don't know what half of us is.
Yeah, all they know is they have the day off or something.
It's like, oh, it's the day off. Yeah, sure. I guess we'll eat a cake and drink a bunch of beer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I heard that on Memorial Day too, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of like the 9/11 cake.
Imagine a 9/11 cake.
Yeah.
God.
Put candles on and blow it. Wish for more of them. I don't know. What are you doing?
For more. Dude, when I was in New York and saw the memorial stuff, that was wild. But they also have a building over there that looks like a xenomorph.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks
like a Geiger-esque.
It
Xenomorph?
literally looks like it has like a Geiger-esque. It looks like the Queen Alien with like her big head thing.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I have Aliens on Laserdisc. We should watch Aliens. Oh, we should. Damn it! If copyright wasn't such a thing, we could do a segment where we just watch a film and like.
We could do it on Odyssey. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a segment where we watch a movie and just bitch about it. That'd be great.
That's me watching most movies.
So it would basically be our version of Mystery Science Theater. Basically, is what you're saying.
I love it. All right, so I think is the plan to go to like an afternoon live show.
Yeah, I think so. And
maybe when?
Starting when? Starting whenever we can get GIs passed to decide when it's going to be.
No, I mean, like, when do you need that to happen, though?
So let's see. It would be late August.
Oh, so we've got time.
We got time. Yeah.
Okay.
We can start it before that though. We can start doing it before that.
Cool. We should do like one blowout though in the morning. And
yeah, there's time.
This is the last one for the morning segment, and then try to have a bunch of people come on, do some weird shit. Maybe it will raffle off.
We'll be more casual. What did Jacob Wayne say?
Us to be more casual.
Yeah.
How could we become more casual?
No shirts. Anyway, yeah.
Takes off my hat.
We already have no pants. Like that's the normal show.
Yeah, we could. Customers are real weirded out by. Why don't you have pants on? Look, I was doing a morning show.
I'm at work.
OnlyFans? Why are you doing this morning show?
No, I like this idea a lot because we can maybe get Hyro up here. We can get maybe Sinfully Cerebral up here after work stuff. Because I know these guys like they've got lives and they have to take care of work stuff during the day. And so it's actually to me it's kind of actually a really good idea because we could get some people on here to hang out with pseudo IRL.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
VIRL.
We live in 2023. This is IRL now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Digital space and meat space are slowly combining.
So we can do that. So I think like we can do like a last like blowout. Maybe we'll do like We could even do like a D&D session on it if we wanted to.
Oh, far out. We could, if we get it ready, we could do maybe the initial campaign for our D&D thing.
I was thinking about that, but then I was like, do you want to start the initial campaign at a different time and day than you're going to for the rest of the series?
That's true. No, not really.
Seems silly.
I just made my desktop wallpaper the Monero Island, Pirate Island, and a Bitcoin Citadel.
I was messing around with it with Greg last week.
What about Greg?
I was messing around with your Steam thing. What's it called?
Well,
what's the name of your?
Oh, Stable Diffusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked for you to dial into.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
It's not up anymore.
No, it's not. That link only lasted 3 days. I didn't have time to figure out how to make it perpetual.
It lasted for a while, dude.
Did it really? Good.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I was able to use it for like a week or something.
Oh, good. Because it was saying when I threw it up there, it was like, this is only going to last for 72 hours or whatever. So.
I think the link, but I had the link so I could just I just never closed the link. I just kept it.
Oh, it was just active. It was open. Cool. Well, I'm glad you got to play with that because that's what I want to do. What I want to do ultimately, and this is one of the things I said, there's projects I want to work on that I haven't had the time or the resources to work on. One of the things is getting a couple of extra graphics cards and running a server that people can literally you pay matter to render stuff, or you know what I mean, just like to use it themselves. I think that'd be really cool. Or if, or to use it for like a day or something, like to have access to it, because a lot of these are really expensive once you use up the free stuff. And did you watch like some instructional videos to learn how to use the little widgets and knobs and stuff?
Fuck no.
Did you self-teach and get to know how to use some of them? What did you learn after using it? What did you learn? Did you get any better at it?
Yeah. No, we totally did. We did like a whole thing where we like made a whole fuck ton of pictures and stuff and like made them get better and better. I still have the prompts that I used for them. They're pretty good. I can show you what they looked like. If you want to see what they look like.
Sure, bring that up. This is the Bitcoin Citadel, by the way.
Holy shit. What created this image?
AI.
And AI did it. Okay.
And my words. Talking to it.
To the point now where it's actually hard to tell.
And then we also have what I'm calling Monerotopia.
Build it in Minecraft and I'll be impressed.
And this is like a pirate island kind of thing. Super detailed. You got like people like in there.
Oh, that's legit, dude.
This literally looks like a Baldur's Gate map.
It's fucking awesome. All right.
Yeah, it's wild.
Share screen.
Yeah. Just dope.
Like zoom back in on that little, like right there. This looks like where you would like walk people up in like an isometric place.
So that's the idea, is that this would be like a storefront or something.
It's even like nicely flat and everything for walking around.
It's cool. There's even details down, like there's like if you look down here, there's even like under the sea areas.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah. Like it's like if you look over here, there's like it's cool, man. It does a good job. And more importantly, so I created this image before I learned about what's called in-painting. And with in-painting, you can have an image that has, let's say this window up here, right? I want specifically in this window, I want Mickey Mouse to be in this window. I don't want to change anything else. I just want to tell the AI, put Mickey Mouse in this window. Well, I can in-paint around this person here, and I can say, and then I can change the prompt and say, Mickey Mouse looking out of a window.
So you can take the image that's already been messed with and edit just sections of it.
Yes, 100%. So we can do that to make it really, really specific.
So in like 60 years, we're just going to have a planet where a bunch of robots are making pictures and we're all dead, right?
Well, John, I sent you a funny text yesterday about graphic design. Somebody said, in order for AI to take over graphic design jobs, the customer or the client is going to have to accurately describe what they want, so we're safe. So it's like that, yeah. But you can totally. I have not gone back and done any in painting on this, but you can take. I now know how to do that, so I look forward to improving it. Even on this, this is amazing already. So yeah,
trying to find.
I like it. So I shared the picture I made. It's not as cool as this, but
a suit onesie.
I'm in for it.
My friend Dom did everything in his power to wear a pajama suit in my wedding, and I had to just continuously be like, "No, you can't do that," and he still found a way to sneak in a pair of sneakers. So, like, if you watch the wedding video, he's in there in sneakers.
Sneakers. This reminds me of like Squall from Final Fantasy or something.
So yeah, they were. I think it was like in the style of Final Fantasy was one of them. So that's like one character, and like that would start. That's supposed to be like look like Greg's like black and white headshot that he sent me.
Okay.
So it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then there was another one. I'll share.
You could tell me that was a character from like a 2010 JRPG, and I'd probably just be like, "Yep,
looks correct. Right." Nice. Yeah. Looks totally legit. Yeah.
And this is like based off of like so I did like image to image. And it was pretty cool.
That's so creepy, isn't it?
Yeah,
like that looks something straight out of like Final Fantasy 12.
It's fucking great, dude.
Hurts my brain a lot.
But that's what it looks like.
I came up with a cool map idea too, by the way.
Oh my god.
Did you just try to fall over?
I thought this was a pretty cool potential map.
Okay.
It's pretty detailed, my guy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Does anybody but me remember good old Neopets?
Yeah.
I remember Neopets, yeah.
I wonder if that website still has like so they had like this map that was like the whole Neopet world, and it reminds me of that.
See you later, Hyro. We will have info up in the lair. Let you know how that goes. And we'll have a GI up there too to figure out what day and what time we want to do it.
Oh god, the Neopets website is bad.
I imagine it probably is, yeah. In a good way.
I'm signing up for an account.
Well, all right. We got to-do lists. At least I do.
Yeah, you get to-do lists.
And it's 10:30.
Just have to follow suit to whatever you say to do.
If you want to, if the two of you want to hang back after the show, I'll let you know what I'm doing coming up. I just don't want to say it yet.
I didn't figure.
You don't want to jinx it? I get it.
I don't want to jinx it. Yeah. There's still a 1% chance that it gets jinxed, so I'm not there. I'm not saying it yet.
I feel you.
Oh, 0.03% repeating.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to tell me? Because I still got the genie friend. Something might happen.
You still got used to. Yeah. He owes you. So.
No, you owe him. No, never mind. He
owes you. Didn't use the wishes and let him free after letting him out. Yeah, he owes John.
John, is that painting behind your head crooked on purpose?
Yeah.
Please fix it.
I had so when our friend Lydia lived with me over at Jim's house, David, I had it was either a mirror or a painting, but I always had it crooked, and I didn't say anything. But every time Lydia walked by, she was like, "What the fuck?" and she put it back. And then every time I walked by it when she wasn't around, I'd make it crooked again. And that happened for a long time until I finally was like, I keep making it crooked. She was like, I was driving me out of my mind.
The best part is that, like, I love Lydia enough to where, like, that's such a her thing. Like, not even questioning why it keeps getting moved. Like, your gym house.
Yeah, the haunted house kind of thing.
I talked to her the other day, actually. She was asking me about a monitor. She's doing real well.
Good. Very good.
Her and her little cutesy pootsy little kid she's got.
Yeah, cute kid. As kids typically are. Not all of them. Most of them, though.
Until they hit a certain threshold, and then you're just like, can you please go away until you're like fully baked?
Until you're fully baked?
Yeah.
Look, if I have to deal with kids, I can deal with kids from like 1 to like maybe 4-ish, and then like they have to be the kind of kid that you can have like a full-blown conversation with, or I don't even know how to interact with them. It feels so bad. Our kid's not confusing to anybody but me. I mean, come on.
I mean, they're confusing, but they're reliably confusing. You know, it's like you can't even be surprised. Like, wait, what do you think is real right now? Okay, sure.
So I've been doing some work out at Jackie's aunt and uncle's house and doing some like tree work and flooring and stuff. But they have several, younger kids. One is 2, the other is like 5.5, and the other is like 14, right? So I've known the 14-year-old forever. That's no biggie. But the 2-year-old, I've never seen a kid be able to escape more in my life without, like, you can be watching him turn around for 10 seconds, come back over, and he's gone.
He's waiting.
And you're just like, where the hell did you go? And you turn around and he's behind you and he's gotten like out of a gate and shit.
Yeah.
And he's making a beeline for your beer. He's
Houdini
like the biggest
kid.
lush I've ever seen. If you have a beer in your hand, he wants that bottle. And if you won't let him have it, he'll do like claps to the ground.
Well, that's what happens when you train kids on bottles. They just
I didn't even think about that.
Little bottle addicts.
Concept.
Yeah.
We just turn them into boozers from day one.
Yeah. Sad.
Why does my beer bottle not have a nipple on it?
Keeps you from spilling it. That's a good idea. Beer nipples. That's a product that you could sell at Spencer's Gifts for sure.
I guarantee you that would make money. Before we scoot here at the end, when you still owned the shop a long time ago, my sister and I think Jackie had come over in the evening. We were watching, I think, Labyrinth. You fell asleep, right? And you were just laying on the couch.
I remember. I know what you're doing. Yeah.
He was asleep in the chair, so I tried to I was just going to leave him there and lock up, right? So I tried to grab the beer, and he just physically would not let it go. Man is dead ass asleep.
I'm asleep 100%. But
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that.
I came in the next day. I came in the next day, and he was just like, "Hey, so I woke up and there was a bottle in my hand." I was like, "Yeah, I tried to take it, and you just wouldn't let it happen."
Yeah, I was good like that.
The workshop.
So let's get out of here. I'll run the updates on payouts. I'll hand out the participation trophies and all of that, and stuff. So anything on the way out you want to chat about for a second before we sign off and stuff?
Yeah, I'd like to plug being nice to mystical beings. Like, they have it hard.
I mean, most people don't even think they're a thing.
Yeah, most people don't even believe they exist. Like,
imagine walking into a bar and there's being like, "Hi, I'm an elf," and they're like, "Fuck you, you're a person."
Exactly. It's fucked up, bro. Near Comic-Con's coming up, and there's gonna be a lot of people disappointed.
God, I have never been more confused than when Jackie wanted to go to an anime convention in Orlando, probably about 2 months ago. I was driving around trying to find them to pick them up, and there was not a normally dressed human being anywhere. I mean, I was surrounded by mythical creatures. Shit was crazy. And anime characters. Dude. It was pretty neat.
Elves are people too. Elf rights.
We should get a shirt that just says "Elves are people too."
Elves are people too. I dig it.
And on that note, let's get the hell out of here.
That'll be. We'll start up a merch store for a Coffee with Den merch store, and that'll be our first offering as a T-shirt that says "Elves are people too."
Just like fighting for the rights of elves.
All right, let's get out of here. Here's a little ditty by a homie named Tristan Harvey.
A little ditty.
Yeah. It's called Enter the Dragon.
Is it about Jack and Diane?
Nope. A little ditty about Enter the Dragon. I'll see y'all next week. All right.
See ya.
Cheers.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best. Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.